That is going on freaking beautifully. Like, at least from what I can see here. I know sometimes I'll look back in my recording and I'll be like, that's actually really patchy, but this is like full opacity. Oh my goodness, this color is so freaking... Alright, this is my second attempt. My first look sucked. I got 20 minutes to do a red eye look with the Haunt Me palette. I have a lovely subscriber on here. Her name is Tanja. I hope I pronounced that correctly. But she posted a comment and I got all these ideas from it. And one of the requests was to do a red burgundy with black eye look. So I'm going to try to do that with our time constraint using the Blend Bunny Haunt Me palette. Like I said, I already messed up, so now I have less time. But I'm going to prime my eyelid. I tried to give myself a bit of guidance with the eye shape, because I realized that is one thing I want to work on with my makeup going forward, is I want to perfect my eye shapes for my eye. Because there are little things that I noticed that always keep me from getting both eyes even. I'll show you after I get this primer worked out. I just cleaned my eyes off with micellar water so they are completely dry. But there's so much tugging right now. Would it have been better to just give up and just do nothing? Yes. But I recently went through a bag that I used to carry with me to work last year, and a lot of that stuff was expired and separating and gross, and I was like, I'm not letting this happen again. I'm gonna try to make the most of my makeup because I've become kind of like a palette collector, but at the same time a lot of like the glosses and stuff were like going bad and I want to make the most of it, and it's fun, and yeah, let's just freaking do it. So I was going for this red look, and I'm gonna tell you, this red blended out so beautifully. This palette was kind of like a surprise for me of how like it really brought out the kind of like alt kind of gothy influencer community towards like more of the forefront with the indie makeup gang. I'm sure they've always been there, but yeah, it was just kind of cool to see the you know, like I said, alt goth indie community come out in support of an indie brand. But that's very like a theming, right, with like alt culture and goth culture is like supporting the smaller, the non-mainstream. Shoot, I got some on my eyebrows. This is why I didn't do my base first, because I knew red was going to be tricky. But this whole palette is vegan. When I first went vegan back like 20 plus years ago, it was really difficult to find cosmetics that were vegan, especially a red pigment like this was very difficult to come across. Most of it had carmine, which is those crushed beetles, and I'm kind of glad it wasn't into makeup back then, because it would have just been like a struggle. It probably wasn't, but like colors probably would have been limited and it would have been harder to source makeup that was vegan friendly. But nowadays, almost all the vegan almost all the indie brands are vegan or have some sort of like vegan option, and it's like super cool, because now it's like, you know, kid in a candy store. Options are unlimited to what you can have to play with. So this red is just freaking gorgeous. It builds up super easily. And like, no fallout. That's kind of impressive. And it's holding up really nicely in the pan too. Not too big of a mess. Like, just to build up on that, it's freaking delicious. I am going to work after this, and I have been embracing just wearing bold makeup to work, because I work by myself for the most part. And I've gotten kind of over the fear of the weird looks and the judgments from my coworkers. Makes me slightly less approachable, which is kind of cool. It saves me from the small talk. And then here's where I always have issues. It's like one eye I will get one shape down, and the other eye I will get a different shape down. And it's because I have this like weird little fat pad here. And then this eye is like a little constructed a little differently. And I'm trying to, what I was trying to do with this look before this was like I gave myself a little bit of a guide with some eyeliner, and that went all bad. Next time I will trace it with eyeshadow, because eyeshadow is probably easier to clean up. We looking even there. And then I always do this eye shape. Like, I'm so sick of this eye shape. That's my homework for the next couple days. It's to start practicing a different eye shape, because this eye shape's getting a little boring. But we'll do that. And then we'll darken the outer edges with the color Macabre. A little sloppy and it got a little muddy. Let's fix the eye shape a little. We'll even the edges out with some blush, but let's get some darkness in there. I'm gonna take the color Noir, which is a black. Kind of wanted a little bit more of that black to show through. I thought the black was going to be a little scary to work with, but it's actually kind of super easy to just build up and apply. I wish I had like a clean, sharper brush so I could get a sharper line on the end, but I'm probably going to go back in and clean it off with some micellar water. But I'm going to leave it at that and not do too much more craziness. There is a red sparkly Terra Moon shadow single that I have. It's called Ruby Satellite. I've been obsessed with Terra Moons right now. I just gotta get them out of my system. That might be too green though. What do we think? Let me see if I have something else. And then what do we have here that's red? Because the red they have on here too is a little like, what is that shift? It's called Blood Moon. I feel like that would muddy it, and at least this would brighten it. I feel like that one has a little bit of the same kind of like green muddy shift, and I feel like this would just kind of muddy the whole thing. At least this one kind of brings a little bright. So we'll do Ruby Satellite and from Terra Moons on the center here. Yeah, kind of like that. I think we picked the right choice. This one's kind of dry when you like try to pick it up. Some of the other ones I had been playing with in the other video are very like soft and kind of more like on the emollient side. This one's a little bit on the drier side, which is not bad because hopefully it'll help with the creasing. Alright, I'm going to leave it at that, and we'll be back with eyeliner, brows, base, and some blush. Alright, and this is my finished look. Just threw on a Kulfi lip liner. It's a staining lip liner, so even after it wears off, it'll wear off. It is in the color Chelum, which is this one, and then I used Fractal Abyss from Terra Moons, my new favorite current brand right now because they are insane. Just dabbed it on a little light so it's not like super black and dark. And then for eyeliner, down here on the bottom lash line, I used a Kulfi eyeliner in the color Jumon Glaze. It is like a brown, kind of shiny, glittery type of eyeliner. I didn't want to make it too dark, and then I just went on with my Half Magic black mascara, Black Urchins Electric mascara. Yes, this is my finished look. I'm obsessed with it. Thank you for the suggestion. I think red is just such a perfectly fun color. Just throw some light on there. Alright, thanks for hanging out with me. She does have other suggestions or other ideas she threw out there that inspired me, like an electric green type of eyeshadow with a red lip. I think that also would look freaking delicious. But see you in another video, and I hope you take care. Bye. And in case you were curious if that gold shift is really distracting, because I was curious about it too, these are the shadows in straight ahead lighting, and then this is with the lighting hitting it from the side. That little bit of green does show. I don't know, what do you think? I'm always kind of iffy about green shifty shadows because I wonder if they like create like unnecessary shadows on the lid, especially like if you if you like kind of use them as highlights. Sometimes when you have like a little bit of a green shift, it can really cast like a dark shadow on the face. But I don't know, I don't think the green shift bothers me too much. And as for the Kulfi staining lip liner, I don't think it stained much other than my skin on the outer side. So I don't know if that's because of the lip gloss I put on, but the shadows are wearing very nicely. It has been 4 hours and it is very hot. I'm sweating, but yeah, that's just a quick check-in I wanted to do. Like I said, I was curious about the shift on this being a little too green. Not bad. But thank you again for this. Thank you again for the suggestion. I had a lot of fun with this.